Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. And we are in studio with the Cannonball King himself, Mr. Spider.
That time of year, y'all.
Let's go.
Wow.
We're joined today with Nick LaPointe and Ray Da Rosa from Golden State Pools. We're going to talk about two completely different roads into the same company. One of them born into the business back in the chlorine gas days. The other found his way into pools, fell in love with the work, and built his own company from the ground up. We'll get into how they merged into one of San Diego's premier pool service companies, the 8-week training program that builds careers and not just hires, and why the boundaries and knowing the value might be the most important tools in your truck. But before we do that, I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, a podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, we want to thank our amazing visionary partners, the SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, Hayward Pool Products, Encore Brands, Poolside Tech, Pool Brain, Knee Deck, and Encore Filtration. Thank you for your continued support. Mr. Broken, Mr. Zacharias, good morning.
Yeah, it's been an interesting morning. We started off the trip, had a great time, had a great dinner, and then this morning was on a walk and the universe said, no, you're not having a good day. Shoved me right off the curb, so I am a little bit broken this morning.
John, I'm not sure I'm buying that, because if this was a one-time incident, like, I would totally buy it. But I took him out to the Western, and he forgot to walk off of a sidewalk. And the weird
Might
thing,
have been self-inflicted.
the weird thing that day is how he fell off that thing. Like, he went like that, and he did this really weird back twick. He looked almost like one of these movies where something transforms into a werewolf or something, and he just kind of went like that, and just all of a sudden I look and he's on the floor all I
remember that day.
To be fair, I was carrying his backpack, which had probably 400 pounds of technical equipment and electronics in it.
Stuff,
yeah. They didn't just folded me in half.
But why do you fall and your hands kind of go like this? Like, he went back and he was like, and back.
Yeah,
so
that one was
Well,
bad.
what's funny about it was you forgot to say you were on the phone with Leslie, right, today, and you were talking about, I'm really enjoying these walks.
Yes.
I love being outside.
15,000
right?
steps.
Less than 10 minutes before it happened, I was saying how much I enjoy walking.
And then that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get hit in the face with that. But
Yeah.
well, yesterday, where we were at, I was watching Zach literally pace. I was like, what is going on? And all of a sudden I see Zach just walk around. And then 30 seconds later, walk
Laps.
around.
He was just doing laps.
Yeah, is that normal?
I'm trying to get my steps in. I got this Fitbit and trying to get 15,000 steps a day.
Yeah, like that. But it was a little weird.
What's interesting though is once I got this, I started realizing I'm only doing 3,000 or 4,000 steps a day, and I was like, okay, this is not. I mean, it's different than being in the field. You're probably getting your steps every day.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
Well,
When
I
you're
read a
doing out
sign.
pools.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I for sure I get over 10,000 every single day when I'm out. But I had a realization. I was at a building one day, and I was, it was a very I don't know, modern type place. And right at the elevators, it had a sign that said, "Hey, walk instead of using the elevator." And it happened to be, I don't know how many floors it was, but it was in the double digits. And it said, if you take the steps, 14 or 15 stories down, you get to burn 0.97 calories. And then I started doing the math, right? And I'm figuring this out, and I'm like, okay, 0.97 calories for 15 stairs, right? Just wasn't worth it for me.
I'd fall down those stairs. So.
Yeah, that'd be a little crazy.
Well, and the problem is coming up was what like 2.6 or 2.7 per floor.
Yeah, something like
It was
that.
like going down was like 0.97 and down was up. It's like it's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. But anyways, I'm glad you're doing all right, though, Zach. I'm afraid that you would have to go to the hospital or something like that.
Not this time.
That would have been an interesting call this morning. I can't make it to the podcast. I fell off of a curve and twisted my ankle and broke it, and we would have been like,
And he's an
"You've
engineer.
used that one already."
Yeah.
So, Mr. JJ, good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. I actually got some rest last night. It was a little interrupted, but I got a full 6 hours worth of sleep, so I feel ready to rock and roll. We just came off of a great day yesterday. You know, I loved having the boys out. You guys were amazing. Every time we do these live podcasts and we have guests that come out, it's fun. We have conversations and we talk shop, but it's always a little bit different when we bring people who are actually out there in the field every single day, right, and go through what we're going through. So the time just flew. We were talking for hours, just shop, right? And even though you've been doing this for a long time, you always hear something new and you get a fresh perspective on something. And, it just feels good to be around amongst your own. So I know it's not easy for you guys coming all the way out here. I mean, you guys have a business to run and a significant business out there, and you have people that depend on you. But to take the time to come out here and, have the fun that we did yesterday. Dinner was amazing. Thank you, Zach. Zach took us to Del Frisco's Double Eagle.
It was very good.
It was very
There
good.
wasn't anything that I tried last night that disappointed.
Which was Zach's treat, which was pretty amazing. Made the food taste that much better, knowing that somebody else is picking up the bill.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Well, let's talk about that for just a second.
Yeah.
Let's kind of explain what happened there. Zach
Oh.
or boys, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that he didn't fall last night and then he didn't show
exactly.
up today.
Made it through dinner.
So
I mean, what was that? The Western?
The Western last year.
Last year, we were hanging out at the Aquastar booth, I think, and talking about how many pipelines we'd installed, and we made a little steak dinner bet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
we
just
lost.
Zach,
Barely. But props to you, though, Zach.
Props to Justin.
Yeah. Well, but
yeah,
still,
but
you
we
and your
need
company.
to you need to let us know when that's happening because we need to help you negotiate the terms of the competition because
Yeah.
these guys are what?
little
How many
weighted.
times? 3-4 times his size?
They are.
And
Yeah, as far as
and
accounts.
lost by how many? Like 10,
Yeah,
12?
10 to 12, I believe. Yeah.
10,
Yeah,
10 to
but
12.
you-
So I think
those
kinda
are
like,
things that need to be laid out at the beginning.
at the
of a
beginning,
bet,
right? It was
Yeah,
it
for
was a
sure.
fair bet, but I think they should have given you kind of like on football, right, where you get a couple points, right? So you should have gotten a couple
A handicap
extra
or whatever.
handicap to
Yeah.
start with, But listen, they were smart enough to bamboozle you into that competition.
But look, Zach, had the gusto, right, to be like, look, I know we can, we
Yeah.
can compete,
Yeah.
and you did
Yeah.
compete.
Yeah.
Say we,
Yeah.
but it is all
Yeah.
Justin.
Justin.
Justin wasn't at dinner
the
last
dinner.
night.
Yeah, I know, but he helped pay for it.
Yeah.
He did all the work and wasn't there to, enjoy
I think we
that
need to
steak dinner.
do it like a champion dinner with Todd if Todd's on here.
Yeah, we should.
That's actually a good idea, right?
A lot of pipelines have been.
Have been put in there.
Yeah.
So.
So, anyways, it was great. We had a great time. It was fun. Thank you guys for being good sports, especially during the photo sessions and stuff. Stay tuned, listeners. We got some pretty neat photos of the boys that we'll be sharing.
Here,
shortly.
watch. Check
Yeah.
this one out.
Here it comes.
Check this one out. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it over to Nick, and then I'm gonna pull it up and I'm going to share the picture.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no.
Nick,
And
good
then-
morning. How you doing? Oh, sorry. Go
Oh
ahead. John.
no, I know. I was just saying. And then Nick got a little rowdy and started jumping on the
And broke my
furniture and
broke
stuff.
a
broke my
Yeah,
chair.
broke a chair.
Well, they broke
Yeah.
the chair at the photo place, and it was
Yeah.
like, I'm sure they're going
It
to
got
send me a
pretty
bill for
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
So that was Nick, though, right?
That was
me.
Nick.
That,
That
was
was
Nick.
Nick.
So, anyways, Nick, good morning. How you
Good
doing?
morning. It was wonderful to come out and got a little intro to the tea that's going to be spilled, and it's very exciting. So, looking forward to that being shared with everybody. But
Exciting.
appreciate the dinner too. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Right. The dinner was
yeah.
good, right? And we brought a couple extra people just to make sure that he felt the competition, right?
for real.
Can you share what your bill was? Go ahead, say it. No one cares.
It was
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
Was it over 1,000?
Yes,
How
it
much
was.
was it?
Yeah.
Like
You only-
$1,200?
You only
like
paid half.
1,100,
$1,100?
That's not
which
too bad,
was
actually.
actually less than my initial estimate. So
Yeah.
What were
Remember-
you thinking it was going to be?
like 15, 16.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be about
Damn,
$1,500.
I could have gone with the Kobe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
John
Yeah,
went
you could've.
easy.
Yeah, I did.
I went easy.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
that's good.
Everybody.
There
took it
weren't
easy
like
on you.
tomahawks all the way around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I told the waiter when he came over. I go, just tomahawks around the table. We're good. So.
He's actually getting mad.
He was a prick, actually, to be honest with you. At the beginning, yeah,
shots
dude was a
fired.
prick. So, and I think he was getting a little agitated with us because, I mean, I get it, well, not really, but he was pissed that nobody just laid out like 15 drinks. Everybody wanted alcohol.
They always do that.
But I don't drink, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're like
I drink
waters.
water. I like
Yeah.
water, and I don't like the
Waters.
fancy water. I just want water, So he was a little upset. He's like, "Oh, you sure you don't want a Coke or anything like that?" No, I don't want a Coke. I just want water, brother. Leave me alone.
Of course, I had the one guy that said, "Oh, I can't make you a cappuccino. This frother's not working or
Yeah.
whatever." And then our waiter came by and I said, "Hey, the other guy said that." He's like, "I can make you a cappuccino. Here you go." And I'm like,
He started lightening up when I started ordering a bunch of sides. And he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, they're family style." I go, "Not
Yeah.
family style, bro. You bring
was-
this one
he was-
and this one straight to me,
he
right?
was-
And
he
then
was-
get more for the table, but no."
Yeah.
And then he started smiling a little bit because then he's thinking, "Okay, here
But
we go."
It
adding
always
up the-
happens to us because everywhere that we go with John, right, and none of us drink,
Yeah.
so we're just like around water, and they always like give us that look, and then all of a sudden John's all like, "I'll have this appetizer and that appetizer and that appetizer, and I'm going to order this, entree, and then I'm going to order a second entree, and then Janie's going to have this," and then they start to lighten up, and they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"I like
Oh,
this
I like
guy."
this guy right here. Yeah, we got a good one.
Remember the time that we went to Abuelo's, and it was just the four of us, and I kid you not, he ordered so much food that our entire tabletop was like full of plates where we had nowhere to put anything else. And it was
Every time we go to a new
ridiculous.
place, I like food, and every time we go to a new place and I want to try it out, instead of making multiple visits to the place, I look at the menu, and I'm very particular in what I like. I don't eat seafood. I like steak. I don't eat anything kind of weird. So if I see something that I like, I just order it all so I can have a taste of it and see if I like
Try
the
it.
place or not. And if I like it, then I come back to it. If not, then we go off to the next restaurant. Simple. Especially out here in Texas, you order an entree, it's the price of an appetizer in California. For real. You get entrees out here for like $14, $15, and there you're paying $15, $20 for a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Ray, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right today.
I do have a couple pictures of you, and your lovely wife is sitting in here in the studio with her. We actually have her.
is.
We actually have her in the boo chair, so she's going to keep you guys in check, and make sure if you guys get boring, she's just going to boo so that you guys know that you need to. But I am going to share with you because I do have some pictures of you. So I'm going to let Nick talk for a second. I mean Ray talk for a second, and then I'm going to share those pictures with you. I'm going to show you the pictures. He got a little crazy in the photography place.
He was
Yeah.
feeling it.
Hey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Why is he looking at me like that? He's like, "Bro,
What do you
don't
mean?
even."
I would say you were both
Like,
throwing it, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good sports.
And
They
you
were
had the music
amazing
on.
sports.
You had the music on for us.
Well,
did.
we had the
We
music on. So my question is, should I show the pictures on?
100%
Go ahead.
show it.
Yeah, why not?
Right?
That's what I love about
Look
these
at.
That-
I don't
now
think you
that
could.
right
that's
there.
too far.
I think that's
probably,
magazine
but
cover
that's
right
the
there.
that's the cover right there,
Yeah.
right, Spider? I don't think if I could.
No.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up and go show it. Watch.
Yeah, so look, this right here, I mean, we have a couple of them that I think are cover worthy, but this one right here, I think is my favorite by far. Yeah, it's not going to go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that nice? He even got a little handsy with himself, too. Which was a little,
Yeah.
There
Well, that's
you go.
nothing new.
Yeah. So we're going to have a good time when everybody comes out and they're up to playing. So
Yeah.
so anyways, hey, for everybody that is listening online, Facebook and Meta was having some major things. So an example, there's already like 11 or 12 people on our Instagram Live. It doesn't show me who's coming on. I did post some comments on there and nobody's responding. So I'm thinking the comments probably aren't coming up as well. So everybody that's listening out there, big shout out to all you guys. I am getting stuff from LinkedIn and some of that stuff. So Big shout out to Jeanette. Where's your copper bracelet, Zach, is what they're asking.
Yeah.
And then look, Todd was listening. Todd's like, let's go. Now we'll talk to you both. Now we'll talk you both to dinner. Take you, I'm assuming. Yep, take you both to dinner. And then Corey Holland is saying rookie numbers is what Corey saw. Corey, are you it? Oh, we're going to start something, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are official the Golden State competition.
Yes.
There we go.
So Corey, you are on here talking. So what do we want to install for next year? What do we want to compete?
I mean, we're already at what 54 pipelines.
No,
this
but
year?
don't say that because now you gave out your
We're
number.
at-
Now
I'm
you're
at
gonna-
fi- we're at
now you just-
55.
You
We're
just
only at
scared them
10.
away.
You wanna come
just
after us?
scared
Let's go.
You was scary. So Corey, and he's not that far. He's only like 3 hours away. So Corey, let's talk about it right here. Let's put a number on the board, and then Golden State, which are the champions, they won, should take on Corey Holland, right? And
As long as I'm not in it, this is what Zach's saying.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the one
Well,
that
he
has to
lost.
pay.
Wait,
He lost, so he's out,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
So
knocked
somebody
out of
has to take on the winners.
Yeah.
But won't Zach pay for dinner again?
Yeah, we'll just keep that. Keep that.
If I compete, I might. Yeah.
So Corey, if you're in for a little bit of competition, let's talk about it here while you're on, and we can kind of get something going with the Golden State boys over here. I would love another steak dinner next year. So, let's see here.
No, we
Coach
should do
Lives
something
and
like that.
Born-
Aquastar, I don't see why not. Raypack does the same thing too, and you guys have
Here we
filled it
go.
with that as well, right?
Yeah.
So
think
the
I'm
Bounty
liking that.
Man or
So-
Bounty King or
Bounty King,
Bounty King?
yeah.
Bounty
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah,
Or yeah, Bounty Boss.
Bounty Boss.
So, Todd is saying to do pumps is what you should do, and he'll take you both to dinner. But he'll take you to Saltgrass Steakhouse is where he'll take you for dinner.
It's got to have double eagle in the title.
It's got to have double eagle in the title. So, anyways, so big shout out to everybody that's on there. Kevin, big shout out to you. Howard Pringle is out there. John going, hi,
Howard.
John. Howard, I just can't believe that after 6 years you've never done a hi Edgar first.
He
It's
did
just-
once.
Zach.
He did
I think-
once.
I think he did once.
Or
No, I
Zach.
think
he's-
Edgar made that up.
I made that
probably.
up that time, but he's never kind of acknowledged Zach whatsoever. He's never said hi to Zach. So
No.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Howard.
you're just the scary dude. You're just the scary
Yes.
dude. So, anyways, big shout out to everybody out there. If you are on there, again, the Instagram is not working over. So, go to YouTube, go to LinkedIn, and kind of put your comments through there, and we'll catch everybody on there. But thanks so much for everybody listening live. So Howard Pringle did say only one time did
Yes.
he go. So it was one time. So, anyways, so somebody's buzzing, somebody's dancing. Is that you? Is that you, Spider?
Whose phone?
Not me.
Somebody's. Damn, somebody's. You know what? A customer's calling. They want you to take it. Can you do me a favor? Can
Oh,
you
you
put
know
it on
what?
speaker? Can you put it on speaker and
It's on
open
that
it?
table.
Huh?
Because
Get the
that mic
customer
is on
support.
over there. It's on. I bet it's on that.
Oh,
table.
on that table over there.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, it's all good. Somebody just wanted to talk to you guys. A customer wanted to call and tell you that there's 3 leaves in a pool and that
Yeah,
you need to get
there's a
somebody
bee
out
in
there
the pool.
today to be able to take care
They're
of
just
it.
approving
So,
another filter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, fellas, let's jump in. Let's start talking a little bit about Golden State. I know that we've got a lot of great stories that we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, Nick, let's start with you and just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised San Diego. I've got my son, my wife. We're out there. I spend most of my time, pretty busy with my son. We do Little League. We actually have a all-star tournament this weekend, so I'm excited to go back and be able to see them compete. They've got a pretty good team there, so that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. So what's your son's name?
Henry,
Henry. Big
Yep.
shout out to Henry out
he
there.
might be listening.
He might be listening. There you go.
Summertime.
Listen, Henry, if you are on Facebook, you could just tell us an embarrassing story about your dad, and we'll totally share it. So this is your time to get even. You know what? We could probably negotiate too, right? A little payday, John, right? So that we negotiate so that we don't share that story of Nick. Would he do that or no?
Oh, he's a negotiator. So he'll try to get some money out of you.
I don't think we can hold these guys. These guys are great sports, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they got no shame in their game.
Yeah.
They're authentic in,
Yeah.
in who they are. So
Yeah.
I don't think we can scare them off
But
with anything.
I would love
Yeah.
to see his son reach out and be like, "Hey, tell Dad to give me $100, or I'll tell this story," and then be like negotiating. You're
He would,
live.
He would.
He would. So, anyways, Ray, good morning. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your morning been so far?
It's been great. You know, had some, what was it, supermoon coffee?
Supermoon, summer
I
moon.
like
Summer
that.
moon. Summer.
Whatever.
So you had some?
had the summer moon.
What
yeah.
did you have?
Flat.
A
Flat
flat
white.
flat white.
Yep.
Yeah. How what? If you
What
don't,
is a flat white?
you know,
You coffee freaks.
coffees remind me of Mexican food, right?
Okay.
So because
Okay.
right?
let's-
Well, listen,
Okay,
listen to my
I'm all
logic.
ears here.
Listen to my logic,
Yeah.
right? You go to a Mexican place, and you get a taco, which is what? The tortilla and the meat and the cheese and the
Yeah.
tomato and the guac, and then you get a burrito, which is what? A tortilla with the
Yeah.
meat and the cheese and the and
Just wrapped
and then
up,
you
yeah.
kind of get the
Taquito or
a
whatever.
taquito, and it's the tortilla with the
The
meat and the
meat,
cheese,
yeah.
and it's just the same thing, just different names and different
I get
things,
that.
right?
I respect that.
And so
analogy.
coffee is the same thing. So you get a latte, it just has more milk,
milk.
and you get a cappuccino, and it has less milk, and you get a cortado, and it's the same amount of milk versus the same amount of
Or where the milk is
espresso
at, either on top or on bottom.
on the
or
bottom,
something, yeah.
right? And so a flat white is a little bit of a combination between a cappuccino and a latte. So it just kind of sits right there, kind of in the middle. So.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So
Okay,
that
I learned
makes sense,
something today.
right?
No, I learned something today
So on the Mexican food or the coffee?
on the coffee. I know about the Mexican food. I know it's hard to
He
teach
knows
me
what's
anything
in
about
Mexican
food.
food.
What's that?
Hard to teach me stuff about food. but
About food.
the coffee,
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
learned.
flat whites are huge in Europe. Like everybody in Europe drinks flat whites instead of cappuccinos and stuff. So
Nice.
The Aussies.
the Aussies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Mike Bellafina, can we do a flip flop check?
Oh, you want to? Oh, hey, let's take bets.
Let's take bets.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So
Yes.
here's what we want to do.
Mike, what are you going to put on the table?
So here's what we're gonna do is I want people to kind of comment on here whether he is wearing shoes or flip flops, and we're gonna kind of figure that out here. But I do want to turn around and I want to say, hi, Dad, says Henry. Big shout out to Henry. Big shout out there. And can we do a flip flop check? Was Corey Wax. So we're gonna. I think we have to hold that toward the end of the podcast.
No, we got to. Yeah, so we got to have people put out money into a pool, and then
Yeah. So Corey, for $10, right? Put $10 on the table.
Steak dinner.
Going steak dinner. On Todd card.
yeah,
Whether he's wearing flip flops or shoes, that's a good thing. So, and then good morning, gentlemen. Oh, $50 on flip flops.
okay, I'll take that bet.
Ooh, some of my favorite people on this podcast is what Corey is saying, but Corey is saying that he is putting $50. But here's the problem:
Yeah,
is we don't want people to think that they're cheating and that he
That's
went and
true.
he changed.
yeah, we got to show now.
We got to show now,
Yeah.
right? So I think
I
we
took
got to
that
go in for
bet.
the 50, right?
This went a
So
whole
are you
different
taking the
direction.
$50 bet?
I know what I'm wearing.
Yeah,
Whoa. This is getting serious. $100 flip flops is what Corey Holland is saying.
wow, I'm taking it
Oh,
too.
you're taking that bet too? So people, so you taking the bet?
No.
We can't.
You know?
He can't do
He
it.
can't. He
I can't
can't do
take
it. So all right. So Corey and
Let's get some more.
Corey Holland. And then Corey Wax is saying, "Don't let me down, Ray. Don't let me down. Don't let me down." So, just collect in San Antonio, and I'll buy steak dinner is what Corey Holland is saying. So we've got it. John always has Crocs, suit or not. LOL.
Yes, yes,
So-
that's true.
Uncle Ray is definitely wearing flip flops, says Henry. Oh, let's go. I
That's
think
what the smart money's at.
so I think we're getting serious. So, Ray, I think it's time to.
How do we show?
It's easy. He's going to have to take a step back, and he's going to have to put his foot in. Look at this, people! Oh, let's go!
Let's go.
I think Corey Holland owes $100, and Corey Wax owes
$50.
$100,
Oh, no, I
and
think Corey said
Corey said 50
50,
and
so-
100 for Corey Holland,
Yeah.
both Corys, right?
Yeah.
And then Henry, were you in shocked on that one, Henry? Because I was when I saw him in shoes, I couldn't believe it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I was told I couldn't wear flip flops.
good. We wanted to get those
Keep it-
pictures, and he'd be in
Just for the
flip flops,
pictures,
right? We're
yeah.
like a nation of pool pros in flip flops.
And
Yeah.
flip-flops.
so anyways, hey, great time out there, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on and having a great time out there. Really kind of appreciate it. So boys, Nick.
Yeah?
Let's start with you. Tell us about yourself, how you got into the pool industry, your background, all of that fun stuff.
So I was born into the industry for the most part. When I was 3 years old, my brother was 4. My dad was approached by one of his friends, and there was a business for sale, a pool route. This is back in 1990. And so he purchased this company without saying anything to my mom. So he comes home and he's like, "Oh, guess what? Guess what I did today? I bought this pool service company, and this is just going to be so easy. You're just going to run this company from home." And she's like, "What? I've got 2 small children running around the house. What are you talking about? I'm going to run this. I don't know how to do pool." And so that was our start of the company. She was running the business from home. Luckily, it was pretty turnkey. That we had service managers, repair technicians, and everything. So it was ready to go. All the routes were there, but it was, trial by fire there. There's no internet. It's 1990 here. So, all the things that you have for training isn't there like it is today. So she had a rough go of it, green pools. She still remembers her very first green pool call, and, she's freaking out, not knowing what to do. And, the resources that are available back then, it just wasn't there. But she got through it. My mom is 5 foot tall, 100 pounds, and she's never in the field. And so she's never really gone on routes. She's gone with the guys, but she's small and mighty. She's the toughest person,
That's awesome.
So a lot of customers that she's talked to for 20 years, she's gone out on a route with the service guy. Customers come out and see her like, "You're not what I pictured." From the phone call. They're like, "I was expecting, just this tough woman," because she really is. And so that was our start. I was basically born into it. And, I grew up. I did some acid washes when I was like 12. I think that was like first thing I did with the pool. She got me out on our pool, scrubbing tiles and everything. And
Now, how old were you when you guys took over, when you took over the business?
for Ray and I?
No,
Or
for you, when your
3.
parents, 3,
Yes,
so you were
yeah.
3 years
Yeah.
old. Shoot. I was
running
like,
around. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that was like a different way of sanitizing pools back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, that's right. So back in the day, in the 90s, we were a gas chlorinator. So my dad was actually had a full-time job during the day, and then at nights he was coming down to our yard, which is right along the San Diego River. It's kind of a swampy area, so super dark. And for the gas chlorine, it comes in these big, they're like propane tanks, these 500-gallon containers, and so those get filled up, and then you have to fill your individual bottles that you bring out to the pools, and that whole situation with gas chlorine is the craziest operation, because that tank, if anything happened to that could take out a whole neighborhood. So back then you'd have to make postings on libraries, paper, schools, just notifying there's this tank in this neighborhood, and if it goes off you have to have an emergency response plan for an entire neighborhood because of that. So he was doing that at nights, helping out with the finances and everything for the business, while my mom was running the day-to-day operations. And then,
So
yeah,
on those tanks, so you guys had one big massive tank, and you
Mhm.
refilled the other ones that the
Yep.
pool guys took. So, and you're saying smaller tanks? Was it tanks that they just walked into the backyard?
the picture like 20-pound CO2 tanks.
Uh-huh.
So those were all on the racks on the back of the truck, and then they were hauling these CO2 style containers to the backyard. And then with gas chlorine, you throw a wand into the bottom of the pool, and then you open up the tank, and it burps basically, or you don't actually want to burp it, but you want to open it really slowly, and then it sort of fizzles and throughout the water. And instant chlorine, 99.9%.
Strongest form.
Your strongest form, elemental. You don't have any salt, like sodium hypochlorite. You don't have any salt in there. Calcium, anything, stabilizer. It's just pure chlorine. So it's a very impressive way to sanitize a pool. But
What happens when you burp it? Why don't you want to burp
oh
it?
yeah, if you get that air bubble,
Yeah.
or the gas bubble, it'll pop on the surface, and you can actually see the cloud of chlorine gas that's just creeping like a fog. And as soon as it hits anything, if it hits a plant, that plant, green, nice, living plant, instantly dies, turns brown right
just
away.
turns brown
It
right
just
away?
turns brown right away, just burns it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
know.
what-
I could see that. there's some trees on my route over the years that I wouldn't mind killing, and I've done some things I'm not very proud of, you know what I mean, over the years, and I'll throw that out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would probably be, you know what? Let me direct this cloud, burp,
Burp this little bubble over here, these weeds.
Now, what kind of safety equipment did the pool techs have? And then more importantly, what kind of training? Because obviously we're talking something super dangerous.
We were talking about like the 90s, so I don't think
It
there's
was very relaxed back then.
everything's
Yeah.
really relaxed back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
then, events 2001, 9/11, that was a big change where nobody was allowed to use the gas chlorine anymore. Department of Homeland Security kind of put an end to that. So that's when we had to make the changes as a company to go over to different sanitation methods.
yeah. Now with the CO2, you got a green pool. You
Oh,
throw the
yeah.
wand. What
Yeah.
happens?
If you're talking about a green clean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's instant. Because as soon as you open up that gas tank and the chlorine gas starts hitting the water, just poof,
Instantly.
instant.
Think about a video of that nowadays.
Yeah.
It'd be all over social
That would
media.
be really
Green
cool.
pool.
10 million, yeah.
But think about it. Even back then, we got a green pool. Oh, we got out there and fix
It's
it in a
like,
couple of minutes. It's not that. It's not going to take me 3 days.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to get in
I
there.
got
and just,
this.
boom. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's no sweat. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just going. But and then after 2011, obviously they banned them because they're so dangerous.
hmm
And so it's kind of interesting though how obviously certain things affect the industry. Now we've got the DOE with all these regulations and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
back then, to them to just come, because back then it was most companies did the CO2.
I got a
they
question.
did the gas chlorine.
Gas chlorine.
Just on the tanks, you said there were 20-pound tanks.
Yeah, they're about,
Yeah.
I think that's a 20-pound tank,
Yeah.
about 3
3
feet tall.
feet high.
How many? What's the equivalent in like liquid, or how many pools could you service? Would you have to go through multiple tanks in a day if you had like 20 pools?
Yeah, they had these A-frame racks, and then they're just on the shelves, and then they're all chained up on the trucks. So they had all the trucks loaded. That's pretty much all they carried.
Yeah.
It's just chlorine
Mhm.
gas, and then some other things like soda ash, because the chlorine gas would actually lower the pH.
pH.
So they were using a lot of soda ash.
Mhm. But think about it back then, John, is like, you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just
psh, boom,
that's it.
done.
When in doubt, gas it out.
Yeah, there we go.
Do not listen to John, people.
I'd love to have something like that.
Yeah.
I needed to nuke something real quick. I got
Right?
you.
In 20 minutes. I need my pool for tomorrow for a
But I'd
party.
want it
I
like
gotcha.
Ghostbusters with like dual tanks on my shoulders and something like that, and on a backpack, and
You're
then
wearing
walking
the
over there and
JJ
just
Flawless thing, right?
throw the wand in the pool.
Sean's walking in with the
Yeah.
big thing like that, and he's got his hand with his little ring pointed like that,
you
like a
gotta-
Green Lantern type
Yeah,
thing,
there
you
you go.
know?
Think about it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a backyard and it's an Airbnb. You got check-in, or you got guests that are coming in, and we have homes that where people aren't there all the time, and they're flying in for the wintertime, and gardeners were there, or something happened and the pool's a wreck, or the salt cell stopped working. You're like, damn, I got to turn this pool around in like literally 2 hours. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it takes a lot of work in order to do it, but to be able to go over there and just have that secret weapon and then flip a switch and get it going, that'd be pretty badass though.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah. Much respect
Yeah.
for doing that. I mean, I never had the opportunity. I've never seen anybody gas a pool of chlorine before, but
I'm
That's-
sure the regulations nowadays for that is
Oh yeah.
just brutal.
yeah, especially in California, that would be something pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is around 2001,
Yep.
right? That you do that, and then obviously you have to change the way that the business runs, and that's a huge obstacle. Because did they cut it off immediately, or did they say, "Hey, over the next 6 weeks, we're going to cut it"?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm assuming after 9/11, they're just going, "Nope, but
Done.
we're done today."
Yeah.
Yeah. You had if you were to continue using it, you had somebody with the truck
Two
with the
people.
other tank. So somebody just has to sit in the truck to defend the tanks while another person is taking the other tank to the backyard. So they cannot be unoccupied.
Unattended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unattended. So you'd have to pay 2 guys to do 1 pool.
And they have to
So-
be armed.
Yeah. Armed.
I'd hope that someone doesn't rear end you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing. I didn't think of.
I'd be
That's a good one.
stressed the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy. So, so what's that change like, and how does it, how do you guys continue to run the business after that?
So from there, we changed it over to liquid.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the time that I was coming in.
Mhm.
I was a teenager at that time, and then as soon as I got my license, I was coming into the company and just doing full service routes. But we still had we actually had moved yards at that time. So then we had a new yard, and we actually at that time started bottling our own chlorine.
Mhm.
So we were getting our deliveries in bulk, and then mostly for the amount of our customers that we have, it made it better just to bottle our own and then just go from there. So we had our tanks, permits, everything to be able to get set up for that. It was a pretty easy transition because all the gas chlorinators were in the same boat.
Mhm.
So we actually, friends of ours who are also in the same industry, same gas chlorinators, we all had to make the change at the same time. So I think that wasn't too bad since everybody was having to research and deal with the same problem at the same time.
Yeah, and so you guys go completely, from gas. Now you're bottling. You got a new yard,
Mm-hmm.
and so how does that work for bottling? Is it just like this one big huge tank? Like how does that work?
Yeah. Started with gravity feeds, so large storage containers, and then pumping out in gravity feeds to fill up your own, your own jugs.
Mm-hmm.
Those Jerry jugs,
Yeah.
2.5 gallon ones.
2.5 gallon. Yeah.
Yeah, little carboys or whatever
Mhm.
they're called,
And-
right?
Yeah.
And then you also do acid too, right? Not just
Mhm.
chlorine. You also bottle your own acid.
Yeah, we bottle our own
Yeah.
hydrochloric acid.
That's crazy.
And so do you guys use the 2.5 gallons or are you using gallon ones?
We used to, but now we have our own mold for our 4x and single gallons.
Gotcha. And so you guys make your own bottles,
Mhm.
right? And then you bottle them.
Mhm.
So who
Yeah.
bottles all that stuff every day?
This
That's a little bit of work.
It is a little bit
Right?
of work,
A little
but
bit
it's
of work.
well worth it,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
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 I did 4,600 gallons the other day.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Pretty smart though, right? Now
Yeah.
I'm assuming that permit process and all that's kind of
Yeah.
also a lot big.
EPA, hazmat,
All
SIRS,
those.
all those.
Yeah. So
Fire
it's-
department.
yeah.
OSHA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like any pool guy could just kind of go throw a tank in their backyard, gravity feed it.
No.
No. Yeah. So, obviously you're a teenager, you kind of get into it. At any point, I know that you went to college, but, do you go out of the business for a while and then come back, or what was that transition like? And what was the operation during those years with your mom continuing to take over the business? Well, to run the business.
So even when I went to college, I was getting a business degree
Mhm.
and I was still in town. So I was actually doing routes while I was in school. So I usually scheduled night classes and was working during the day doing routes. But I don't think at any time I was ever going to not be part of the business. Even during that time in business school, I was using our business as an example. And in my mindset of as I'm doing my work, I was picturing the pool company as I'm going through the whole process.
Mhm.
So I was able to bring some of those things in there. And my mom's quite stubborn. She doesn't like change. So it was
Just like her son.
yeah, just like me. So a lot of those things trying to put in there to the business was like pulling teeth. You know, she was using DOS, if anybody is old enough. The DOS
Yeah.
software with the
Oh,
black
yeah.
screen with the green text.
I
She was still using that until like
2019.
20
That
something or other.
is mind blowing.
Do you know who
Yeah.
still uses it? Nebraska Furniture Mart. I just saw it the other day. It was
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to do the Y, the N,
The
the
Y,
P,
the N,
you know,
yeah.
all that.
There's
you
no
know, and-
mouse.
Yeah, there's
Everything's
no,
all
it's just,
keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotels back in the days was like that. They were all DOS. They were all kind of,
Yeah.
but it's.
I can't even wrap my
Zach,
mind
Zach
around
doesn't
it.
even know what that
What-
is.
What do you get? You can't talk to it?
Well, there's other.
It doesn't talk back?
I think there's still other companies in the pool industry that
Yes.
still use it too.
Yes.
Some distribution.
I was
uses
gonna
it as
say, I'm
well.
sure there's
SCB
distributors
uses it. That's what they're
They're-
freaking doing
Oh,
on theirs,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
those 20 keystrokes that they do
Yeah.
to print a receipt, that's them kind of going, F5, F3, print, yes, full, what printer, it's all
Order
tack,
something
tack,
and
tack,
it's
tack,
literally
tack.
like 15 different keystrokes just to do one thing. I'm like, wow.
So, when your parents bought the company, how big was the company back then?
It was actually multiple businesses. So I think the first one that they purchased was about like 400 accounts.
Okay.
And at that time, we were primarily, I would say 95% just chemical only plants.
Mhm.
And so that, you have the tanks on the back of the truck, and they're not doing any cleaning. They're just coming in, doing the chemistry of the pool, and moving on. And then we actually had another plan that we had was rental sweeps. So we had the old Zodiac Barracuda Alpha 3, really retro looking thing. And that was kind of, I think around that time, that was when sweeps were new. Everybody back then in the 80s, 90s, they're all hand vacuuming. And so we did rentals and lease to own on those cleaners. And that was kind of our thing in San Diego. So I think we were the only company out there doing that at that time. And so that was a big thing for us. That was kind of what we got going on there. So we had more accounts, but they were faster. And then we just kind of took on a couple more companies here and there, and then, just grew from there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to ask you one more question, but I do want to come out here because they're kind of giving a couple shout outs out here. So, and I'm sure this is an insight. Hi, Dad, Henry. Hi, Mr. Nick, Archie. Are you in Hollywood, Marin?
Those are Henry's friends, Archie and Mary.
Oh, okay. There you go. They're asking, are you in
Yeah,
Hollywood?
I am.
Yeah, there you go. From here to Hollywood, baby. And then Ken Morris, looking good, Nick. Gas shooters, Rick Adams.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
Yeah, Rick.
And then we have over here, I only have her Instagram account, so please forgive me, but who does your hair? Hey, Raymond and Nick. Oh, we got a Raymond.
Oh,
So Raymond and Nick.
That'd be my sister,
That'd be your sister. So big. What's your sister's name?
Mallory.
Mallory. Big shout out to Mallory out there. To Sloan, who does your hair. Kenny, a big shout out. Pool Pro Service, Limping Elk. Big shout out to you guys out there. Maria, big shout out. Pratt Pools, Clearwater Pools, Jay Hobbles, and Annette. Big shout out to all you guys out there. It looks like our Instagram is starting to go. And then Nick's mom is watching too. Yeah, let's go. Those are big, right? We always talk about.
Yeah.
But so, Mom, you get the biggest shout out today. Big shout out to you. Mom is watching with the big heart out there.
There we go.
And then
She figured out how to use Instagram.
and then Jim Blanton is saying, good show. So, it looks like your mom was quite a business,
Yeah.
entrepreneur, kind of, thinking outside the box, the rental thing back then, right?
Mhm.
Very big as they're
That's
coming
smart.
out
Yeah.
from a couple different aspects, if you look at it, right? One is obviously those cleaners are going to be in there doing, the job, being able to help, maintain that pool and do all those things. But then how smart to be able to kind of go, hey, let's offer a service
The
and rent them out,
Barracuda.
and the
Yeah.
Barracuda and kind of
Those are-
rent them out.
Those are still around, dude.
They
Those things
are. Yeah,
beasts, man.
yeah.
That's the successor to the creepy crawly, I think. Is what,
Yep.
Remember the creepy
Yep.
crawly? I remember when I was a kid.
Yep.
That thing freaked me out, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy crawly in the deep end,
Yeah, the noise.
So loud.
right? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's brilliant, to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
I didn't know from conversating yesterday that initially it was just purely chemical delivery. So
Mhm.
you guys it's like you go by and it's like, here you go. We need to fill up your pool with chlorine, and we're rolling around with these tanks, and we're doing nothing but just loading it up with chlorine. Right. So as far as like testing water, nothing. You just went and you got like an order. We need half a pound of
Oh, no,
gas.
they're testing.
Yeah. Oh, there
But
was. Okay.
Just treating with the gas chlorine.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was like pool guys were saying, "Hey, we need to get some chlorine, and can you deliver a half a pound of gas, this week or
Yeah.
whatever?"
No, like a Kim service.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
camp service. Okay, gotcha.
They're out there. Now, were a lot of companies like that back then, or were a lot of companies doing full service back then?
Pretty much all full service.
Pretty much all for service, and so
Mhm.
you guys were just
Yeah.
the
And that's how we got really known. I think we had a pretty big image of just being the chemical only company.
hmm So,
Yeah.
And so Ray comes into the picture at some point. So, Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in pools, and then obviously leading into Golden State.
Yeah, well, I mean, myself, I'm also born and raised in San Diego, so
Uh-huh.
very fortunate. And Nick and I met back in college, and I needed a job. So I asked his parents, and they hired me and started working for them. Worked for them for about 4 or 5 years. And one day I was like, hey, I would like a raise. And his parents were like, no. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start my own business. And they said, how can we help?
Mhm.
So that's when I started Golden State Pools, was in 2015. And I learned a lot from working for his parents at Pacific Chemical. But there were some things that we needed that I thought could be done differently.
Mhm.
So I took everything that I knew from there and started my company and just continued to build from there. And then fast forward about, 4 years later, I think Nick's dad, Rick, reached out to me asking, hey, do you want to merge? Let's do it. So, and here we are now.
Yeah. So you built your company up to how many pools?
I had about 270.
270 pools.
Yeah. It was a little wild doing all those by myself in 4 days.
Did you build that? Did you buy that route, or did you build or do a little bit of mix, a hybrid
So
both?
I initially bought 42 pools from
Yeah.
someone, and I lost about 19 of them, which was not great. But then slowly, just word of mouth, I didn't do any advertising at all, just kept building. And then I bought another route again in Coronado. I got about 42 pools out there. So
Nice.
I bought 80
Coronado.
pools total, but was able to build organically outside of that too.
And what year was that?
2015.
2015. And so once you guys started that process of merging, what was that like?
Time consuming. Took a little while.
Mhm.
Well, when we first merged, we were running as two separate companies, but everything was funneling to one. So because it took a while to get all of our business stuff just merged together, we had to dissolve my company. We then dissolved Pacific Chemical, and then we started Golden State Pools again. So it took about a year to get that done, but it ran pretty seamlessly.
Mhm.
And so what were you guys doing back then, right? Because now, obviously, your parents were still in the picture, and now they're kind of not doing too much on the business side, a little bit, and then so you guys come in, merge those two companies. What do you guys start doing from day one? Are you just servicing pools, or what does that look like?
We were doing a little bit of both. We were servicing pools, we were doing repairs, so admin work, filter cleans, and then just managing the guys. Yeah, so kind of doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And so how many techs did you guys have at that point when you merged?
6 or 7, I think.
No, it'd be more than that.
I don't know.
10.
No,
We'll say
it
10.
wasn't 10.
We'll say
There's
10.
No way.
I can't remember.
There's no way.
He's
it was 10.
analytical.
Yeah, there's no way it was 10.
I like it.
I don't know.
Because we only have, we have 9 techs right now. There's no way we had 10 techs.
Yeah. So
It's a blur.
So, so do you guys start managing those guys right off the bat, or because you had other people there? So, what did that dynamic look like in changing structure? What did that look like, or you just came in and kind of just started doing pulls, your repairs, and just stayed like that?
Well, Jackie was still managing the office and the notes and the job descriptions for the day and everything else. So she was still doing that. And then we were just helping out.
Mhm.
Yeah, just kind of learning from her how to do things. And then, yeah.
So how did that, from the office standpoint, what did that look like? Just all the customers just called her, and she.
Yeah, for the most part, they were just calling her. She's fielding everything from the start, and then eventually one day she just was like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with you guys.
No, she started dealing with Nick, not me. It was Nick.
I'm gonna throw you in there as well. So
Yeah, we were supposed
she's
to have
like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah,
You
1 year
gotta do it.
plan. I think it lasted 3 months.
Yeah.
Got
So-
a call and we're like,
Okay.
Jackie's done. You guys run it. We're just like, awesome.
So obviously we're talking, they started that in the 90s. There's no internet in the 90s. There's no cell phones in the 90s. There's none of that kind of stuff. Probably beepers is the only thing that was around back
Yeah.
then. And she's got over 1,000 pools, and she's running this big company. Like, what was that day to day for her? I mean, billing, calls, scheduling guys. I mean,
So everything's on paper. So the technicians have their route books that they do. It's the same thing. You have your daily route, and down at our warehouse, we had a big map on the wall with pins for every, the old Thomas guide. So we had them printed out on the wall with pins, all color coded. Very similar to how you would look at your any of the route softwares that are out there. You look at your page and you see all the little dots that are on the map. So we had those. We were able to do our routing just based on that. You could just look at the pins and just move the dots around, and then shuffle all the cards. But the technicians would come in the morning, get all their notes, and go about their day. And no emails back then. It's everything's just phone calls. But at that time, it's a lot more quiet than it is now. Everything nowadays is instant.
Nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop, little things, just all the time, instant. You have a lot more flexibility back in the day. Even, to the early 2000s too, even, during that time, a lot of people just didn't have emails or cell phones until, some people still don't have emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a few of those.
Yeah.
So for the notes, she's kind of going over. So she gets 5 calls, 10 calls, writes notes, and then what they got like binders for the trucks,
Yeah.
and then come in and
Work
here's your
orders,
notes and the work
paperwork
orders and
orders,
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy if you think about it, John, and like how much work that
Well,
was back
isn't-
then
Especially when
versus
you have that many
versus-
pools as well, right? It's a lot easier to manage all customers and complaints and service calls and repair requests and whatever it may be nowadays, because it's all digital,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's not like the demand changes. Heaters are still going out, and equipment's failing, and kids are doing what to pools, but your ability to be able to sort through it, organize it, and then stay on top of it is so much harder back then. To do like 1,100 pools
Yeah.
all manually, that's just bonkers.
On the
Yeah.
delay. That's what
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Well, so we
Yeah.
had to do, Jackie had these books that we had to do like route notes. And whenever something was wrong, we would fill out the notes, we'd put it in the basket, and then she would come and get them like the following day or the following
have
week
to read them all
and read them
Yeah.
all, file them
Jesus,
all, get them all
imagine.
set up. But that's the thing. Like back then, you didn't have to get it done immediately.
Yeah.
She can get the note and then, okay, cool, we can schedule it next week. Nowadays, it's
Like
boom,
everybody
here's an
wants it right
email.
now.
We
Yeah.
want it done right now. It's
Yeah.
just, it's so
Get you.
different.
You get a call
Yeah.
at midnight. Hey, can you come over tomorrow morning? It's like, what are you
Yeah.
talking
Oh, sorry
about?
to bother you.
Sorry to
Yeah.
bother you.
Yeah, I
Midnight.
know it's a Sunday at
It's-
11
yeah.
p.m., right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
throwing this out here.
Yeah. No, I remember
My
the-
cleaner stopped moving. Come on.
Yeah, I remember the early days that my neighbor was a pool guy, and so he just had his phone at home, and he was like, "I'll
Mhm.
just get my messages when I get home." Like he went out to work, and
Yeah.
he'd never heard from anybody. He'd do his route. He'd
That's
have
a
no
dream.
pressure, none of that. And then he'd get back home, and then he would be like, "Okay, now I need to listen to my answering machine and
Yeah.
kind of call people back and do all that." But look, over 1,000 pools, you're doing that amount of work. It's a lot, right? And
Mhm.
you're getting new customers, you're quoting, and you're having to kind of do all that, all the notes, all the little things, whatever it was, right? Like whether the pool's getting algae, and Zach needs to now go next week and deal with that issue, and all that is just all hand done right there. These guys are solid. Shout out to Golden State Pools and our PG family. That's Ken Morris.
I want to
Ken Morris, Adam.
I
Who's
want to
that?
ask you guys because, I mean, a lot of times like partnerships of working together, it's an interesting dynamic, right? And there's challenges that come with it, but you guys get along very well. And every time I've hung out with y'all,
It's a facade.
is it the razzing? You need like a good healthy amount of razzing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we mess with each other quite a bit.
So how was that like when you first started merging and going through that? Was there a time period of like finding your groove together?
Mhm.
Was it pretty
Yeah.
seamless from the beginning?
Well, we both have. So when we merged, Ray and I did sit down together, and then, typical business there, we laid out our own mission statement, our own vision statement, and we sat down and we had a meeting together, and we found out what our core values for the business would be. So we're almost kind of restructuring what we're doing within the business to align with each other. Our core values are basically
Similar, the
identical
same,
to
yeah.
each other. So that
How you
helps a
go
lot.
about it's a different thing, though, right?
Yeah,
You
but
too?
we
Yeah.
do have. I'm an analytical person, and Ray is a very expressive, a social person. I'm not a social person, but Ray is, but I'm very analytical. So I need to know everything, and I need to break everything down. I need to know 10 million different scenarios. I need to know exactly what is going to happen from every direction, which annoys him. But yeah, so we are doing the same thing as each other, but we have different methods on being
Just
able to
different
achieve
ways.
that goal.
Yeah.
So it has worked out really well because I am not as good working with the technicians as Ray. Ray knows everybody personally on just a deeper level, and I'm just more of the analytical business. Like this is where we're going. This is what we need to do. These are the solutions, and just kind of working on that.
Yeah, but even though we I wouldn't say disagree on things. We have different points of view, but regardless, Nick and I have always had the ability to just, if we're at opposite ends of the spectrum, some way, somehow, we always come back again to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People, I think you guys even said yesterday, we're like the yin and the yang.
Yeah, yin and yang.
I think that's, and from talking to you yesterday and kind of going through that, it's like you guys have identified your different strengths and like really lean into those. And it's like John always talks about the strength-based business. I think that's like a real factor in success of having like a partnership or a close working relationship. I see too many times people come out and they're like both the same person.
Yeah.
And that right there is where I think a lot of the turbulence comes in.
Butt heads.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's do this. Let's see here. 9 Fathom Pools. I hate when I'm in poor cell reception. I'm missing out. Big shout out to you. And Brian out here, Thomas Guides. Yes, Brian, the Thomas Guides. And he's saying my dudes, right? Let's see. Formals by Lillian. Look, John. Pool Psycho. No, I'm kidding. I'm not Pool Psycho.
Remember? Yeah. Like, Pool Psycho? What are you talking about?
So I botch everybody's names. Like I just, and I call people the different. And so John and I are doing an Instagram live. And look, I'm not kidding, right? Pool Psycho,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
right.
I can see that.
So I started Pool Psycho. He's like, it's not Pool Psycho. So anyway, big shout out to you, Pool Psycho.
Is Pool Psycho confirmed?
Yes, he did confirm.
okay.
What was it, John? Pool
Zico.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Pool Zico. See, like
Okay.
Spider has to correct
it.
it.
I see
Pool
it.
Zico. So big shout out to you, Heather. Big shout out to you. I am Rich. Big shout out to you, Broker. What's going on? And Maria. Maria's saying the same thing, that she's got some bad reception out there. So big shout out to all you guys out there. Let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about, obviously the growth, bringing on more employees, kind of what the structure looks like. I want to talk a little bit about your training program as well for your techs out there, and kind of what you guys want to do for your pool pros and be able to, give them a career path and what you guys envision from that standpoint. So we will be right back.
Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We continue our conversation with Nick and Ray with Golden State Pools.
A round of applause.
Studio audience.
Studio audience right there. Which, by the way, Henry is saying, Dad, $50, and I won't send Edgar a story.
Whoa.
Are you in or are you out?
Go
you,
for it.
You $50 out? So Henry, $50. You're going to get the $50. So you should have asked for 100.
Right. Well, we're up to 150 between Corey and.
No, this was his son.
I know,
not-
but we made $150.
Yeah, I know. Like that's how we need to make money on this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I think we figured it out now.
There you
So
go.
we're going to start. You know, we do have a square thing going for John's daughter, which
Yep.
is due almost any time. So on the Instagram lives, we created
You guys are in
a
on it, too, if
square,
you want.
and so people just had to pick a date, and the one that hits the date will win some stuff. So Zach, you in?
Man,
You in?
let's go.
You got to pick a date. You gotta take a look at the date.
I'm
So
gonna say June 20th.
That's
June
close. That's
20th.
good. That might
June
work.
20th. That might work. What about you guys?
As long as
Throw a
it's
number
not
in.
tomorrow or today.
But yeah, but we can't say when she's due because then people will
Yeah,
kind of cheat.
yeah,
So
for
that's
sure.
that's it. She's due sometime in June. That's as much as we could give you. You're already 12 days in, so you got good odds of.
I'll
you
go
know,
to the 22nd.
So 22nd.
okay.
So you know what? Let me put that in my notes here.
in the
So
notes.
so Ray is saying the 22nd.
I got a
think,
smile there from John.
I think that's a good guess. I know that's a good guess.
That's a good guess.
First one,
First
First grand. Yeah.
first
Yeah.
grandbaby, yeah.
23rd. Okay.
23rd. Oh, that's a
There you
good
go.
one too. Oh shit. So, yeah. Are you in?
Let's do the 19th.
The 19th. All
You guys are
right.
surrounding me. I don't like it.
It's my parents'
19th.
anniversary.
That's your anniversary?
My parents.
Oh, your parents.
June
Okay.
19th, yeah.
I don't think she picked that because of that.
No.
That's awesome. You know what I mean? You can just tell from that you have a great relationship with your parents. You know what I
yeah.
mean? To be able to remember that and to know that. You know, I hope my kids remember our anniversary because I don't remember it.
Bro,
No, I do.
I know your anniversary, bro. Yours is easy.
Yeah, remember the story why, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it years ago,
Yeah.
but yeah. So
John's-
December 31st.
Only because he wanted the tax write-off.
So literally, I told her we're gonna get married.
how
If we get married,
romantic.
we have to get it before the new year so that
Right,
I can claim
right,
it for the whole year.
Right.
Yeah.
So was that 31st?
That sounds right.
You know, right? It sounds so John. Like once you get to know John, you're like,
Yep.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like total.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he tried to do romantic and cupcake in one
Yeah,
knee,
yeah.
and then he said, I love you, and you're
Bro,
the love
I
of my
sucked,
life.
dude.
And
I didn't even
it's
propose,
it's
bro. It was weird.
You didn't propose,
I didn't propose. No.
bro. How could you not propose?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like it was more of like let's just go get married,
And that was it?
And that was it.
I'll tell you.
Long story. Not for we're not going to leave it for this one. One day we'll talk about it.
Let's do this. I'll share my proposal story,
Sure.
and I'll just tell you that there was stabbings involved.
Oh.
There was trees falling on cars, and I lost the ring. So I'll share that story one of these days on Instagram. It was, and I was damn and determined it was going to happen that day. So I'll have to share that story. It was pretty crazy, but there was even stabbings where I worked, and I had to go deal with that during the day before my.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, anyways, so guys, coming back to your story, obviously your parents are in now at this stage. You've kind of taken over, right? Your mom says we're going to be there for a year. 3 months later, she's like, I'm done dealing with Nick.
Yeah.
Right? I'm done dealing with Nick.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'd be tired of dealing with me too. So
right. And there's a lot, especially when you're that big, right? At 150 pools, 200 pools, right? It's probably not that big, but when you get to that size, there's all of a sudden all these extra tasks that are going to be falling onto your guys' lap. And then you guys have to sit there and figure out, okay, Nick, this is what you're going to take. Ray, this is what you're going to do, right? And deal with all those things. What is your employee count look like? Do you have service managers at that point? Is it just, the whole structure changes. So walk us through that moment, what happened, how it changed. And then let's start talking about,
and what you guys took for granted as well, because I'm sure you took a little bit of her work for granted, right?
But at that point, I think Nick and I were basically the service managers.
Yeah.
When we first took over, Nick and I were service managers. Now, currently, there's myself and Nick at the top, and his dad is still heavily involved in the business as well, running the accounting and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And below us, we have 2 service managers, we have a repair manager, and then we have our 9 route technicians.
Mm-hmm. And so an example, what's the day-to-day for you? And I'm going to go down down to the text, but what's your guys' day-to-day look like?
No days ever the same.
Firemen.
Yeah.
No day is ever the same. Always putting fires out, always dealing with something. But we have the CRM that we use that our guys are able to communicate through, that they get their notes from for every single day. And we upload the notes either the week before or it populates the morning of with scheduled notes, and they know what they have to do. And they just kind of go about their day, and they let us know things that occur during the day, and then we take care of it that way.
So,
and that's right there, your own CRM, like making that transition.
Mm-hmm.
At the size that you are, is like that's a task in itself.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when did you guys make that transition?
2021 or so, or maybe before that, because we were already planning on doing the merge.
Yeah.
So we were trying to implement a lot of things while my parents were still involved in the company. And I think that's kind of where a lot of tips were coming from. She's like, you know what? I don't want to learn anything new. She was still doing paper invoices at that point, so, we're talking about thousands of customers of paper. And she's printing that on her DOS, her dot matrix printer. And, she's got these boxes and they come in a ream and, she's like, it's printing day, and the whole house is so loud because that's the loudest printer you can imagine, and
it
so
just rolls.
it just rolls of invoices, and then then we're in the house doing the stuffing and going to the post office with the mailers, and we're not taking credit cards at the time, so it's all check and cash, and you got to get all those.
The good old days, bro.
in,
The good
they're
old
all
days. That's when
coming
I
in the
started. It was like
mail,
that. It
and-
was no credit. It was just
Yeah.
all checks.
So
Well,
that's just so much labor.
And
You're
fast forward
chasing
now,
checks.
we have maybe 70 people that we still mail invoices out to.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just either automated with email or ACH or credit card.
Those are the OGs, right? They were talking about the sub 2000s or around the
Yeah.
2000-ish customers.
That's scary.
We have
Yeah.
some
the old
accounts.
schools.
Yeah, we've
That are
they
30
were
plus years old.
numbered. So there's a specific range of customer accounts that we have from before the 90s. So they're still there. We still have customers that have been with us for 40 years,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Talk about longevity, right?
I mean,
that's
well,
awesome.
It's a testament to actually
Yeah.
the type of work and the quality of work, and to be able to stick with a company for that long. I mean,
Yeah.
you're practically family at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it, and that's why Nick gets his reputation of being the philanthropist or the charity guy, right?
The charity case.
Mr. Charity over here.
Oh, poor Nick. Shots
Yeah.
fired, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I'll take
know,
it.
so take it.
Yeah.
So, So you guys make that transition. 2000. So you made that transition around
Around there,
2021.
yeah.
2021, yeah.
Did you guys go through several softwares, or did you guys were lucky to just kind of land on one and kind of go
Well, the
from
main
there?
one that we use, I brought up to Nick, and he hated it at first. He didn't want to do it, but then he found out you can put videos on here, you can have photos on here, and then he was like, "Oh, this is great."
Open communication with everything. So, what's really nice beyond the routing software that we use is the communication software that the entire company's in.
All
And
centralized.
then, so I know what's happening with all the technicians all the time beyond what they're doing for the actual service. And that makes running the operations significantly easier.
And it
when
has
you
the
know what all of
history.
your
History of
there's
everything is there.
histories and
From 5 years ago when we first started using it,
Yeah.
we can go back and still see, oh, this pool had this issue, or customers complaining about something like, oh, well, we remember talking to you about this 5 years ago,
yeah.
here we are again.
Those are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Jackie LaPointe. I'm liking your family. I'm liking your family. Dang it. I'm liking your family. She's like, I have stories too. I think what that means is give it up. So, Jackie, are you in? And just tell us what your ransom is. Type here. Tell us what your ransom. Jackie, I'm sure you have some really good stories that are worth some money.
Yeah, for sure.
I got
What
a
do you
good one.
think?
When I was a kid, I'm like, oh, it would be really fast if I balance the alkalinity and pH at the same time. If I just mix the chemicals, and she was on the ride with me, and I was a teenager. I'm like, oh, I'll just put both of them together, and then it created a volcano. And I just had to kick
Look at John. John was freaking out.
That's awesome. That's actually kind of awesome.
I was because she was there in the yard with me, and I'm like, oh, what would be great? No, not great. Not a good idea.
Definitely ask Nick's mom for a story. Oh, Mom, we need some stories, please. We need a couple. You don't have to tell us the whole story, but just tell us what it is, and we'll make sure that Nick comes out here and tells
I'll
us
probably
live
do it, yeah.
what the story is, and you can call him out if he's BSing on there. So, anyway, so you guys come in. Obviously, all of that changes, right? And you start to make the transitions from, I hate to call it old school, but right, like legacy, and kind of, now that technology's out there, running the business more efficient.
Just adapting.
I mean, just think about how much time you just save in billing. I remember back in my day, and it was 200 pools, and and you had to lick every envelope and stamp and all that. And imagine over 1,000. I can only imagine that was probably like a couple of days of just nothing but billing, doing that, and everything around your house had to evolve around those days, right? Like, we're not taking any vacation on the, whatever you're billing. John, if you bill on the 5th, the 1st through the 5th, you're not going anywhere, right? It's all at that amount of pools.
A couple of days. I mean, nowadays, even we do billing, and Mama does everything, right? And it's like, I don't even want to deal with it because we got to walk through and go through every single one of them and talk about this because I'm terrible at making sure that I add stuff or, a service call or parts or whatever, but I keep everything in my mind and we kind of go through it. And for us, it's a 2-day ordeal for us to go through billing, and everything's digital.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had to do it that way. It would literally spend 2 weeks doing billing. I don't think I'd be a pool guy. There's no way I can do it.
So obviously your team starts to grow, and obviously you have now the service manager. So what's your service manager's day-to-day duties for the team?
So our service managers, they come in around 5:30 every morning. They look at the routing software that we use. There's alerts from the day before that they go through. They upload those notes to the communication platform that we use. So Nick and I can then see additional stuff that we didn't see initially. And then they go through those notes and they build out their days of, hey, we got to go check this out. We saw this, or Nick and I will go check it out, or the repair manager will go check it out as well. So that's what they do first thing in the morning. And then after that, they go out about their day.
And what is it that they do the rest of the day? Are they going and checking on pools for the pros? Are they taking?
They're checking on pools. They're doing mini routes here and there, or covering routes when the guys are sick.
Yeah.
Doing the training. And then our service manager are all a big thing that we focus in on is training. So they're all journeyman level. We sent them through the PSATC apprenticeship program. So it's 2,000-hour, 1-year-long program, and they're all journeyman level. So they're pretty much experts, and they will see the problems, fix the problems, communicate with customers. So they're pretty much just taking the technicians that are under them and then just making sure that the issues are all resolved. If it's something out of their realm, say it's a repair that needs to be done, that goes over to our repair manager, and then that gets handled in that way. But the service managers are really just trying to do the training, educate the technicians, and then solve the issues that are there, and they just kind of float around.
Yeah.
So a customer calls and says, "Hey, we're having, algae issue, kind of broken out a couple times. We need you guys to take a look at it." So how do you guys funnel that down, and then who in the team takes care of that?
Well, it depends on which pool it is, because our service managers, the way they're split up, they cover certain technicians, right? So if it falls under Daniel or falls under Nalu, then one of them will take it and go take care of it. So they'll go out there, they'll see what's going on, and more often than not, it's your pool needs a filter clean, So, but they'll clean the filters when they're out there. They'll add some algicide or anything else to clean it up, or maybe sometimes it's just error on the technician, and then that's a learning moment that they can talk to the technician and be like, "Hey, you could have done X, Y, and Z to avoid this."
So do they talk directly to the customer? So you got that call, the algae issue, service manager comes out, goes over, knocks on the door, talks to the customer.
Yep.
Hey, filter needs to be cleaned. We're just going to clean
Ideally,
it now.
yep.
And then that gets closed there, right? And that issue, boom, it's done from there.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you talk about your techs now. And so you have your techs going out doing full service and all that. Your tech starts, what's the training program that you guys put in place for your techs?
So it's an 8-week training program, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, depending on if they have pool experience or not. But usually, say we have someone that's fresh, that's never been in the pool industry before, the very first week, we focus on chemistry. That's it. The guys aren't touching any of the equipment. They're not cleaning the pools. They're just solely focusing on chemistry. And after you do that for a week, around 150 pools, you'll get it down for the most part. Then the following week, you go to cleaning. And the service manager that is training them, they take over the chemistry. They'll read out the readings to the guy, and they'll ask, what do we need to do? What do we need to add? So while they're cleaning, they're doing that. And then the following week, they do a little bit of both of the cleaning and the chemistry. The week after that, they start getting into the equipment. And over the course of the next few weeks, they do all of that. And then the last week is when they start messing with them, flip an actuator, take out the O-ring, just try to get them to understand and figure out, why is this happening, because there's only so many things that you can make happen. I mean, stuff's going to happen all the time. And you can only replicate a few things. But the other thing that I tell our employees too is like, look, you can ask me a million questions. No question is going to be a dumb question. You'll figure out when you have the dumb question, but I will answer like it's the most important question in the world.
I love that. Like, I think training is one of those things that you can talk to a lot of different people and they have a lot of different approaches to it. There's not really, I've never heard like one real standard, but a lot of it is very short. And I think that, this is a job where as we all know, like there's so many moving pieces, there's so much to learn. I'd always say like I've been 16 years in it and I still learn something every day. And so to just throw someone out in the field after a week or two, like they're not getting a fair shot at it. And so I love that you guys have this program that actually takes it, longer and lets them kind of digest and build and go on that. And Ray, yesterday you were talking about, someone had said if they're still working on the team in 5 years, then, kind of push them out and go on their start. And you have a little bit of a different philosophy that I want to dive into because I think it goes hand in hand with your guys' training philosophy.
Yeah. So what I tell all our employees is, I want to hire you to retire you. Yeah. I want you to grow with us. The bigger we get, the better it is for everybody involved. We want to grow together. Yes, we are a small family-owned business, but at the same time, we're not. We're a rather large company, but we still run it like it's an intimate family business.
Yeah, and I think it's important. So, and you focus a lot on this. You focus on the employee retention side, right? And every company has to have a strategy to keep their employees because you can't be having pool pros and flipping every 6 months to a year. It just kind of gets a little bit too difficult, to do that. And, you focus a lot of your attention on the team side, working with the team. But us as an industry, we need to do a better job, kind of like what you guys are doing with the mentality of, I'm going to retire these people, but giving them more opportunities, right? And you have the structure of, you could be a service tech, right? You can get all these journeyman hours. We'll pay for the education. We'll put you through it. You can become a service manager. And I can only imagine as you guys continue to grow and grow, right? More layers are going to have to be put in because, at, 1,300 pools, right? You get to the point where you're at 2,000, right? Not only do you have more service managers, but then you're going to have somebody kind of helping and managing those service managers, because then for you guys, there's so much operational aspect to it. So I think it's a great thing, and I love what you guys do with that mentality.
And not only that, but you guys, and I know you don't talk about it, but I mean, you guys are out in the field as well too, right? It's not like you have your service managers and and your tech guys. You guys are out there hustling. You were saying you bottled how many bottles of chlorine and acid, right? That's a lot of work. So it's not like you guys are just sitting in your office. You guys go out there and get your hands dirty. Yeah. You were telling me about the funny story about the pump that wasn't priming and you going out there, right? And doing it. And
Nick is like, you had to bring that up.
I think it's important to mention that, because when you get to a point or to a level that you guys are at, especially when you have a crew and that many, your type of operation, it's easy to step far away from it, and it's a tough line, and it's a tough line to walk. I know sometimes you don't want to be in your business too much because then you can't work on your business, and we preach that. But you need to have your finger on the pulse, right? You need to be in there, and not only because it helps you be nimble and be able to react to things and fix things or foresee things from happening and act quickly, but it also builds respect with your team, because they know you're ready to get your hands dirty and you're there and you know what you're talking about. And then I just want to jump a little bit too into training and saying, look, we get lost and we forget how important that is sometimes, and it's refreshing to see that you guys take it that serious, right? It's expensive to do that program out in California, right? You are making a huge investment into your people. And that is not something, to take lightly. And I think it's pretty amazing that a company of your size understands the importance of it, especially, 8 weeks worth of training. To actually stick by it and to do it, that's better than a lot of other companies, because everybody, when they hire out of necessity, immediate need, right? And they don't plan ahead, and they don't have the time to do the 8 weeks worth of training, and it's literally baptism by fire, and we rinse and recycle and destroy people, eat them alive. I like to say, when it comes to training, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? And training, that's what you're doing. You're preventing these issues, these disasters from happening. And, it creates an environment where people feel confident in their abilities when they go out there and they do it, instead of being demoralized or costing your company and your reputation. So kudos to you guys for doing that.
I think as serious as you take the training kind of dictates how serious they take the job. If it's just kind of thrown together, get out there, then you're not going to develop a serious person that you can retire,
Hey, I want to come back over here really quick. Over 9 Fathom Pools was saying he was even trying to get what is this, Starlink, trying to get a Starlink, but they're sold out because he wants to be out in
That's
the
what
field.
I have in my van.
That's what you have on your van?
I'm in the field, and I have, my big repair van. So I don't like sitting in the office. I have my Starlink and my laptop, and I drive around in my big old van, and, that way I could be in an area. If a customer calls, need something done, and it's like, well, I'm over here, so I can come over and take care of that issue for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mark Jones is asking, what software do you guys use? I can say it if you guys don't want to. I don't care. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we use PoolBrain for our routing, and then we use Slack for our central integration, the communication.
And so Slack is that platform that you use
Slack,
and then you use PoolBrain. Let's see here. Big shout out to Daryl, Heather, the Chlorinators on, giving John a big shout out there.
What's up,
Aquastar, Berry Blue Pools, big shout out to you guys. MLS 2686 out of Florida. Big shout out to you, and Bronny. Big shout out to you guys out there as well.
You did good with the shout outs today.
This thing has been lit up with these guys.
Yeah, but usually you always
A lot of gas.
you forget.
I do. Sometimes
And you got to go back and use
sometimes
like a laundry list
Yeah.
of people you go through. But you've
Yeah.
periodically gone through and communicated and participated with the crowd. That's awesome. I'm proud of you today, Edgar.
It's easier when we have two people because
Yeah.
there's just a lot more bouncing
Yeah.
over there that I can kind of imagine over here when it's just one person and we're focusing on them.
You've
all
done
of a sudden,
good. You've done
I
good
done
today.
good.
You've done
I done
good.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Hey, I'll take any compliment that I can take, right?
Especially from me.
Especially from John, right? So, hey, Fabrizio, big shout out to you out there in Florida. Appreciate you being on there. So, so I want to talk to everybody because I had it in reverse. So I didn't know which one of you two did repairs and which one of you focused on service and stuff like that. And we were talking about it last night. Somebody's saying pool guy of the year right there.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so the question is, which one of the boys is pool guy of the year? So we're going to talk
Me.
about that right now. You,
This guy.
you won 30 under 40.
That was 30 under 40.
Oh, yeah.
It was
30
You
under
won.
40,
You
yeah,
won
yeah.
30 under 40.
Yeah.
So I think Ray should be nominated for
Yeah,
pool
yeah.
guy of the year.
I was.
You were.
Yeah, but I lost.
You lost.
Yeah.
A lot of
It's a
competition.
Piscina Pools.
Piscina Pool.
The guys in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Oh, Piscinando.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's the day of the year. And were you nominated last year?
No.
Bro, come
no, I
on,
didn't
man!
nominate
Like
him.
that's like a
You pissed
direct.
him off.
You pissed him off that day. He's like, I'm gonna. That's the day that
Right.
he. That's the way that he. The day that he
Yeah.
found the stuff in the
Right.
impeller.
no,
That
but
was
let's
screwed
let's
it
get
up.
back. Let's get back into this because I was
Yeah.
if I was if I was a betting man and somebody told me who is in charge of repairs and who's in
I
charge of
love
services,
it. Let's ask everybody.
right? Let us know because I would have been wrong.
Okay, I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
You probably would have been. I'm going to have you tell me here quietly, but so everybody that's listening. So obviously we got Nick and we got Ray. Who do you think does the repairs, Nick or Ray? Who does the repairs out there? Nick. And then look, Ken is saying
Who's in charge of
Ken-
it? Yeah,
yeah,
managing that portion of the business.
and getting out to the field a lot to do a lot of the repairs out there. So I want everybody to tell us online here before we kind of throw out. Maybe we'll do some betting here on this. We're going to become a betting podcast.
I might have already given the answer.
Yeah.
You might have. That's
Yeah.
right.
And who plays like backup cleanup guy?
And who?
Yeah,
and who fixes the repair guys?
Yeah, that's
Figure
what
out,
I'm saying.
yeah, right.
Nick is like, come on, guys, really?
Who checks the impeller?
So out here, who checks the impellers? Ken is saying that he'll nominate. He goes, "I'll nominate you, Ray." Is what
Nice.
what Nick what Ken is saying. And then I can't say who Jackie. I can't say who because we all know that you've got the insider information.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like insider trading. We kind of can't give up that information, out there. But so Day is saying, and Day's out of Washington. She is saying that Ray does the repairs out there. Dylan Brooks, big shout out. And then Brian Croissant is saying Ray doesn't work.
He drives a forklift.
Right.
Yeah,
he
he
starts
does the
the
forklift.
So, anyways, so actually, Day, believe it or not, and I was under the same impression, John was under the same impression, but the one that actually does the repairs and stuff like that is actually Nick.
Me?
So that's
Yeah, he took that over.
That took that. And then Teresa was saying my lips are sealed. She was not going to share. So I appreciate that, Teresa. So tell us about that. You guys kind of have it broken up. You focus a lot more on the repair side.
So yeah, when we first merged, we were doing the same thing as each other. So which doesn't really work out because then you stumble across each other.
Lots of
and then-
crossover.
And then you see something that might get missed. So if there's, a technician makes a note that the pump is having an issue, then it just goes into the ether. And then, like, who's going to pick that up? And then, as we're building the company, it goes back to how you're structuring things and what's the protocol. What is your operations and
SOPs,
processes for that, like that procedure for doing the repairs, who's picking that up, who's calling the customer, who's doing the scheduling. So then we had to figure, okay, well, we both can't do the same thing. And then we kind of split it from there. So everything from repairs, equipment, customer side, from outside coming in would be handled over by me, and then Ray's employees, everything with service, and then coming out. So you have that sort of crossover, you meet in the middle. And so I work with a repair manager and, other filter cleaning techs and everything to get the equipment all handled. So Ray and all of his service techs know, okay, everything is good with our pools because Nick and the repair crew are going to be making sure my pools are functioning properly. And then I know that all the pools are great because Ray's handling that. And so that's just kind of how we did the breakdown.
Oh, there's a big focus on that. Guys, believe it or not, we're running out of time. There's one more thing that I want to talk about really quick. We'll take a break, and then I want to come back, and I want to ask you guys really kind of one key thing that you would want to tell the pool pros out in the field, and we're going to close the podcast like that. But one of the things that we haven't talked about is obviously with your size, and you guys have done a lot of great things, right? You had the gas, and you had the tanks, and you had the vision to do that in the early days, and then you got away from that, and then you're doing the liquid chlorine bottling, and obviously doing that is very cost effective, and there's a business side to that decision, which I think is very smart. But the other thing that you guys do a lot is you guys warehouse a lot of products. You guys buy a lot of stuff and product. You use that leverage to pricing and do all those things. Can you talk about that really quick?
Yeah. So as you start to get larger, you do a lot more equipment. And then the purchasing that you have, working with vendors, and you get to that point where we have our warehouse space. We have a 6,000 square foot warehouse with storage racks, our chemical tanks. So we have a lot of storage for all of our stuff. And then it gets to the point where the time it takes for technicians to go to distribution and be able to pick up equipment for, say, a pump install. You either drive all the way there, sit at the counter, pick up the pump, drive to the job. That's a lot of wasted labor hours. It's fine when you might be like a single puller and you're making those stops at distribution. But once you get to a certain point, you have to be able to make that investment in, say larger quantities. You can maybe start negotiating out different pricing.
Not you can't. You
Yeah,
do.
you
right?
do,
That
yeah.
gives you the leverage
Yeah.
to go out and negotiate.
Yeah, so we're basically our own distribution.
And then I like to say it's the time value of money, so you're making the purchases of that. What is, instead of, say a $10,000 investment in equipment, what is your interest going to be on that $10,000, and how quickly can you get that equipment installed? And that's kind of what we do. We make large purchases and store all the inventory in the warehouse. We're ordering 8 pallets of filters at a time, and just storing it all in there because we have tracked everything that we do for the past 20 years. It's like, okay, well, in the past 20 years I've put in about 2,000 pumps.
We know how many filters we're going to install.
We know how many filters we're going to put in. Everything is very measurable.
Good play.
So we have a very good idea of okay, this is what our purchasing is going to be for the year, and then we will be able to store that out in our warehouse, and then we'll know, okay, as long as we install this number of pumps, filters, whatever, through our inventory, then we were coming out ahead. So it's kind of as long as you know your numbers, you know what your business does, and you can track everything that you're doing. And that's a big thing that we do.
Were you going to say something?
No, it's smart and it's brilliant, and it's taking it. It's not only for the convenience. Most customers do it or most companies will do it for their convenience, right? So you can have it because time is money, going back forth, right? But not only that, you take it to another level and go, hey, look, if I got $100,000 and I can get 5% back, you know what I mean? That's $5,000. If I leave it in there for 3 months, that's $15,000 that I'm making, you know what I mean, or whatever in return for however much money. Having it here, what is the discount now that I'm getting when I'm buying X amount, and being able to do this, to be able to that granular is impressive, right? And that's truly how you run a very lean, mean machine. So that's pretty badass.
Well, and with all their product too, with the price increases that
I was just about to say, with the 4 price increases that we get a year,
with the price increases that we get, because we buy so much at the beginning, our inventory becomes more valuable each and every time too.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
And then you got like programs with some manufacturers that do that 20%. That one, Jandy does that, right? You buy X amount and you get a discount
and
when you buy in bulk. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey guys, let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, I want to ask you guys that final question.
Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We are talking to Ray. We are talking to Nick from Golden State Pools. Why the stare? Like, you guys are staring at me like, you know, like...
We're waiting for you to move.
To mess up? Yeah. Is that what it is?
I was waiting for you to call him Nick.
Ray's waiting for me to call him Nick so that he can, you know, he's going to say, at that point, he's going to drop the F-bomb and be like, you know. You know what you could do really good for ratings is, you know, I could mess up and you could just stand up and either like storm off or you could stand up and like slap me. Yeah, like slap me, you know. That would get us a lot of time, I mean, like thousands of views. Yeah. That's why you were so hot. You were drinking that piping hot freaking tea that had you Sweating right
No,
there.
I'm just hot in general because I
So-
didn't wear my sandals.
Yeah, your wife was making fun of you. She was just like, "Oh, he's nervous. Look at how much he's sweating over there."
No, me, I never get nervous.
So let me ask you one question, both. We talk to a lot of the pool pros that are out there that's starting their businesses, and they kind of go through that journey of the one polar and kind of building the businesses. And I think one of the things that we do is we kind of tend to chase quantity of pools versus kind of the empire that you're trying to build. But and I think along the way we kind of get lost a lot of times, and we just put way too many hours into the business, or we don't focus on certain things that we should be focusing on. So I'm going to start with you, Nick. What would be one thing that you would tell pool pros that are going through the journey into building their empires?
Boundaries. Ray tells me every single day you need to set boundaries. And I kind of dismissed it for so long because I said, okay, well, in order to be the best company out there, we have to be available all the time. If I'm going to get a text message, I'm going to return it. I get an email, I'm going to respond. It doesn't matter the time. I would always do that. Until recently, about 4 weeks ago, my dog, a 15-year-old chocolate lab best friend, Cody. He's the sweetest dog. And with me for 15 years, has been with me through so much, best friend there. He's getting older. He had hip issues. He's falling over a lot. And my wife and I had the conversation that, okay, well, if there's something else that happens, we have to be ready to,
Right. Make that
say our
decision.
goodbye there.
Yeah.
So about 4 weeks ago, it was on a Saturday, and he fell and injured his leg. And so we carried him to his bed. And then we made the decision that, we weren't going to take him to the hospital at that point. It was for the vet. And we made the decision that that was the day that we were going to be putting him down. So throughout the day, I had both of my phones on me. We're calling friends and family if they wanted to come by. It was a Saturday, so it was a wide open day. And we had it scheduled for that evening for the vet to come over and do their thing. And throughout the day, I'm getting messages and phone calls from people who wanted to, send their condolences and come by and everything. And about 3:30, a customer texts me, "Hey, I can't get my pump primed up. I've got this air bubble in there." And I'm in the middle of putting my dog down, and the customer's bothering me. And it hit me. It just took me out of this personal, very intimate moment that I'm going through, that this customer is bothering me about an air bubble. And they're, the sweep climbed out of the pool and got an air bubble in there, and then they're having a hard time priming the pump. And, there's the lack of boundaries, or I don't know if it's a lack of respect or anything but they're messaging you. They're not thinking of you as a person. They're just saying, you're the one who's fixing my equipment. You're just the pool guy. And they don't really think of you as a real person there. So I've still been thinking about it almost every day that, it bothers me that this person was, it happens, but obviously I didn't reply. But I waited until the next day and then, text him back. But yeah, that really hit you that, it's like, okay, this person doesn't see me as a person. They're, texting my cell phone on this Saturday at 3:30 because they have an air bubble.
An air bubble, yeah.
Yeah, the simplest thing, And so I just want to basically say that out to all the pool pros out there that as you're growing your business, you still have to respect your own time. And, you build the business to the best that you can, but don't let it,
Overtake those
overtake
boundaries.
you. Yeah.
Consume you.
You need time
Yeah.
for yourself, your families, your kids. I mean, I coach both my kids' baseball teams, Camden and Nolan. It's just boundaries are so important to have.
Yeah.
So important.
So same question to you.
Know your value. Know your value. Don't compare yourself to the other pool guys out there. If you're the best guy out there and you truly believe that, price yourself accordingly. Price your jobs accordingly. Your installs, your repairs, your service. don't try to be the cheapest guy out there because you're worried about losing a customer. If your customer doesn't value you, that's on them, and they probably don't deserve you.
Oh, I agree 100% with both of you gentlemen, right? There has to be that balance in life to being able to disconnect. And just because we own the business, we feel that it's our baby and we have to protect it and we have to do everything. But there is a boundary, and you have to be able to kind of separate yourself, from that. And we talk about it all the time. I agree with you 100%. Is like, you really have to know your value. And I think we come into the industry thinking the exact same thing. I'm going to quote them high. I'm going to lose the customer, right? But if the value is there, the communication's there, the quality work is there, the customer's going to respect that, right? And they're going to, go with you. So, Mr. JJ,
No,
Mr. Zacharias.
No, look, I think I know we only have like a minute left, but I agree, and I think that boundary thing that you're talking about, Nick, it's a struggle that any real business owner goes through, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
And it's a tough it's a tough battle because we do it. We work so hard to for our customers and for our company, for our family, but yet we sometimes forget how that gets blurred sometimes, and we allow it to overtake us, consume us at the expense of our family and our loved ones, and it's a battle that I go through every single day. And it's tough. I get the messages on Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes if it so happens that we're free and things are good, I am ready to rock and roll. I didn't set those boundaries. I need to do better with it. But there are times when I'm actually doing something with my family and I get it and I get irritated, right?
Yeah.
It irks you.
And it really pisses me off. And you've seen some of the messages that I've sent,
I
right?
know. The one with the pictures the other day was ridiculous.
And it's like, where I get it, and it's like, but I also know, and I sit back and I reflect on it, that a lot of this I brought onto myself, and I didn't set those, but good luck with it. You let me know how it goes. All right.
Mr. Analytical over there, right? It's like, it just got to.
You're not alone out there, right? You're not alone. And then what you said, Ray, 1,000%, brother, and it's what we preach. You need to know your value, and value directly correlates with confidence, and confidence comes from being educated and experienced.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important that you never stop learning. You always work hard at being the best at what you can do, and you will eventually, build up that confidence where you will understand your value, and you will go out there and get what's deserved and what you deserve. So that's another battle too. That's not a, all of a sudden tomorrow I'm the best and I'm going to charge X amount. No, you need to be able to deliver as well, right? And it's a journey to get there. So thanks, guys, for coming out. This was
thanks
awesome.
for having us.
This
It's
was
been
very, our people love listening to this because, this is what we have people in our community that are one polars and that are happy and perfectly content with 80 pools, because that's the beauty of our industry, where you can have that type of a business and still be able to provide for your family and do it. And then there's a good portion that want to grow and become as big as you and even bigger.
We have no end in sight.
Yeah. And to hear it, your guys you guys are very truthful and you're very open. There's no secrets. And to give your little, your little pieces of advice to them means the world, and then it makes them feel that their goals are a little bit more attainable because they can see that you guys are just pool guys like us, and if you guys can do it, they can do it. So thanks again for doing that. Thank you for coming out and spending the time with us out here. It was pretty amazing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
There it is.
Let's go.
Let's go. Mr. Zacharias, take us home, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to just kind of echo what John was saying, and thank you guys for coming out here. And you guys are an inspiration to a lot of people out there. And I mean, you could just see it from all the interaction, from the shout outs and the people coming in. Like, you're truly two genuine people that you are running a bigger company, and you haven't lost sight of that, and you haven't lost that like personal element. And it's really refreshing to see that. And I think that a lot of us get so buried in our businesses as we're growing that we end up losing a little bit of that. So thanks for coming out, sharing your story. It's a really cool story. Like, I would have never guessed any of that, but I'm really excited for you guys and what the future has.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Catch me and John next Wednesday on the Instagram Live. We're going to spill a little bit of the tea.
A little more tea.
That you guys got to see, but we'll at least share the date. Nominations for the Pool Nation Awards. By the way, nominations for the Pool Nation Awards open next Wednesday.
No excuses.
So no
There you go.
excuses.
I got it nominated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's what I'm going to do, Ray.
What's that?
Is if he doesn't nominate you, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
So I will specifically say he did not do it. That way he can't BS you that he didn't do it, and then you can hold that one over him.
I nominate him for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
He has no idea. I nominate him.
Did you nominate him for the 30 under 40?
No. For
No?
the PhDA thing I did, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So awesome. So catch us next week on the Instagram Live. Hope that everybody has a great weekend. Which catch you on the next one. Take us home, Spider. Thank you.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.